Okay, hello and welcome guys to a streaks video. Now that's one thing that I haven't uploaded in a while because personally I just haven't played that many streaks. Um, I feel like I've noticed that I just don't have the patience to play streaks too much these days. But anyway, I played some streaks yesterday night and I got a really nice streak. So I'm going to show you guys that. And I might have made it onto the leaderboard. I might have gotten a world record even. So, well, you've probably seen the title and thumbnail and whatnot. But anyway, let's get into this and see what rounds we had. If you just want to see like the uncut or like unedited, no voiceover sort of just the pure gameplay, then I'll link that unlisted video in the description as well, so you can take a look. Anyway, let's get into this and see what we had. So started off with just a red car Ukraine. I'm playing, by the way, arbitrary rural world. No moving if you couldn't tell. Yeah, here we have double white lines, driving left, just Malaysia. I didn't really focus too much on region guessing every time. Some rounds I did, some rounds I just kind of clicked. Um, so yeah, like don't really pay too much attention to my region guesses. This time I kind of tried, but I didn't really know what road this is because the new Australia coverage is it's just so much new stuff, and I'm still not accustomed to it. But that road was the Mount Isa road, so it's kind of good to know. This one is where it gets a bit into the tricky territory. Initial thoughts are France, Belgium, but I was also considering if it could maybe be the new Germany coverage. It's not out of question. We have some wind turbines there. Yeah, so I hate to use copyright, but the easiest way to tell if it's Germany or not if it is if the copyright is 2023. And it wasn't, so I clicked France. It could have been Belgium, but I just gambled and it worked out. This was just easy Japan, easy Brazil again with the pole. This one is quite interesting, but with these mountains, it's just got to be Norway. So I just click Norway. This is just slow cam, Sri Lanka. Yeah, sometimes don't even need to pan, which is nice. Here we have an Indo pole. I wasn't really sure what region of Indonesia this is. We had some palm trees, some banana trees, a few red roofs, but not like, doesn't really look like Java. So I just kind of clicked Sumatra middle. Was South Sumatra, which makes sense. But yeah, so far we are on a streak of 10, I think. I have that loading location bug where I have to refresh. This round, so I was actually thinking if this could be east with the white car, but I just didn't remember seeing such a flat and that kind of landscape there, but it was actually there. But that's good to know for the future that you have that sort of landscape there. I just clicked Chelyabinsk with the white car. But yeah, good to know. We have Kyrgyzstan here. Just kind of clicked. This is Turkey with the pavement, bollards, chevrons. So far, that I think the only real hard round we had was France and Belgium, really. Everything else has been fairly free. Iceland to finish this off. Yeah, again, we have Australia. I noticed that there was a Stoby like after I plonked, and I was like, I can't be bothered to switch my plonk, so I just guessed anyway. This one, I wasn't really sure if I'd seen that antenna in Spain, so I've seen funky antennas in France, but I wasn't sure if you get that in Spain. So I was not sure, but it looked more Spanish to me, just the landscape and the trees. So I just went for it. And it worked out. I don't actually know if you get that antenna in France specifically, but yeah. Anyway, some more free rounds with Senegal there. This one took me a moment, but yeah, we're driving left and we have those sort of like white signposts. See it clearly there. So it's got to be Thailand. But yeah, the road lines were a bit atypical for Thailand, I guess. This is just the US. Um, so yeah, just kind of clicked there. This one was I mean, my first thought was Romania, but I wanted to confirm that it indeed is. And then I saw this sort of pole, Romanian pole, also one over there. So that worked out. This one is just Turkey. Again, we have the bollards, the landscape. Yeah, I didn't really region guess this well, did I? Senegal. This is one of those like roads that I've seen before, but I couldn't remember which one. So like the road I clicked, I know it looks kind of funky, but I couldn't remember what it looked like. So just kind of clicked it. This is just Hong Kong with these mountains. So yeah, so far again, not really very many tricky rounds, but we do get some of them in the future. Oh, like this one, for example, is not super straightforward. Um, I mean, the three obvious choices are Malaysia, Indonesia, and Philippines. I was thinking of Indo, but I couldn't think of where in Indo this would be, so I just went with Malaysia in the end. Philippines didn't really feel right with the type of road we had. Um, it's just South Africa again, free round. Argentina, pretty free round again. So yeah, building up the streak. This is just South Korea with a black car and just landscape, I guess. And Kyrgyzstan to finish this off. So yeah, made it to a 30 streak. Um, let's keep going. Again, I have that bug. It's just Botswana with the sand, like soil, I guess. This one I was pretty sure it's Thailand, but I wanted to double check because it could have been like weird Philippines or something, Colombia maybe. But yeah, the soil was very red. Anyway, this is just Mexico, downtown Mexico City. This one is tricky because the Southern Europe roulette can be quite something. I was between, of course, Portugal, Spain, Italy, and Greece. Um, Looking at the road pavement, it was possible that it was Greek, but it really didn't look Italian. So just based on the road, I sort of ruled out Italy. Uh, and then Portugal, I guess, was possible, but I feel like with this landscape where you're in the mountains, I don't know. It's just like if I had to choose between Spain and Portugal, I would go Spain here. So I was mainly between Spain and Greece, but just looking at the way the hills looked, I decided to go Spain, and it worked out. But I could have been wrong there. Here we have black cars. This should just be Peru with these mountains. So I just clicked. So yeah, um, could have lost my streak on that seed, but fortunately I didn't. This one again, sun in the south. We're in Europe somewhere. I'm trying to figure out where. Again, it looks like fairly southern. These trees. We have the blue car, which sort of ruled out Turkey for me. Um, so yeah, mainly I was thinking of again Spain, Italy. Yeah, that's it, I guess, really, or Portugal actually. With the road lines, Italy was not really too likely, so it's Spain or Portugal for me. And then that sign looked more like a Spanish sign, although it was kind of far, so it was hard to tell. So it's just Poland, the 2018 Gen 4, the yellow sign. Um, then just Brazil. Yeah, so a couple of tricky rounds so far, but um, worked out fine. And yeah, if you're wondering why all these locations are so rural, it's because the map is an arbitrary rural world. So it's all gonna be pretty rural stuff. Um, Again, a few more freebies. And we made it to a 40 streak, which is quite high to be honest. This one we have again the like stubby antenna, so it's either Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, or Ecuador. Um, the sun did look north, so that's not really. So that kind of puts Mexico a bit out of the equation. So Ecuador, I can't really think of where it would look like this. So for me, it was mainly Brazil or Colombia, but we had the red dirt and that roof with or the house with the red roof, which looked very Brazilian to me. So I went with Brazil. The pole, like the wooden pole, I did think of RGDS there, but I don't know. It was just like so like mountainous and red soil. I didn't really want to go there, but apparently it was. Here we had a yellow plate, but it felt quite Irish to me, so I went Northern Ireland, but it was Scotland. This is just Turkey with the pollards and the pavement. So yeah, so far we are surviving. Again, we have the same stubby antenna. I didn't really notice the pole right next to us at first, but this pole as well looked like Mexican, and the sun is in the south, so I was leaning Mexico already. The other option, of course, would be Colombia, but yeah, this pole also looked very Mexican, so I just decided to go Mexico, and it worked out fine. Again, we have an Indo pole. We have quite a few palm trees. So yeah, I just clicked like West Sumatra. Actually, I guess I clicked North Sumatra, but it was West Sumatra, I think. This one, it could have been Thailand, but I was pretty confident it's Cambodia. Um, although, yeah, there's no way I could say that this is never Thailand, but it does look a lot like Cambodian coverage that I've seen. So yeah, just click Cambodia. This is just Russia again with long antenna, black car. Not a bad region guess either. Senegal, freebie again, although I completely messed up the region guessing there. And then just Mongolia, also a freebie. So yeah, so far it's going good. This round I was actually not very certain of because it could have been a few places. I did even consider NA at first, like US, Canada. But yeah, it's just looked more like Norway, Sweden. Even the car there looks more like Norway or like more like Europe, basically. So I was mainly between Norway, Sweden. I didn't really think of Finland at all here. Yeah, there you can see I'm trying to contemplate between the two. So, like the road did look quite Norwegian to me, and we did have like some hills. Um, but then I noticed that there's like a river there. So that sort of put me more towards Sweden because, yeah, it's like a river, and I feel like in Norway you'd probably see a fjord, maybe. I don't know. Inland Norway probably has some rivers, but I'm trying to look for the copyright. I don't really know why I'm looking for the copyright because I really don't know the copyright in Norway or Sweden. But yeah, I just went with Sweden in the end because it wasn't super mountainous. It was a bit hilly, which you get in northern Sweden, and then with that river, it turned out to be Sweden. So I guess I got a bit lucky. But anyway, here I was between Austria, Germany, Slovenia, Czechia. And then I checked the copyright, of course, to make sure it's not Germany. Um, so yeah, that left me mainly with Austria, Czechia, and Slovenia, just mainly based on the landscape and also the buildings. We did have some mountains in the distance, um, which sort of made me lean away from Czechia. I mean, of course, Czechia has mountains, but and then that sort of panorama there zoomed in looked quite Austrian to me, like those houses and the open, like rolling fields, I guess. Um, but I mean, Slovenia was still on the table, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, the more I looked at it, the more I started convincing myself that it looks Austrian because we have those big mountains in the distance and then like flat agricultural areas with, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to put in words sometimes what I'm thinking. Uh, but yeah, in the end, I chose Austria and it worked out. It's just a free Nigeria round. And again, here it is again either Austria or Slovenia for me. I guess Germany is also possible, but yeah, like the houses looks very Austria or Slovenia. I guess I'm. Did I check the copyright here? I might have. Yeah, yeah, 2022. So I know it's not Germany. Um, so yeah, Austria, Slovenia, and It's really hard. Like I feel like this round was harder than the previous one to tell which one of the two it is because the houses could be either really. Um, the landscape looked a little more Austrian to me, but the road looked a bit Slovenian to me. But then I thought about it, and there are no bollards. I was looking if there's any Karma I might be missing, but not really. I was looking if there were any bollards, but there's no bollards at all on the road, which I feel like is a bit strange for Slovenia. I feel like Slovenia would have some kind of bollards at least. So I was leaning more Austria at this point, and you have those sort of typical Austrian houses. I'm just trying to picture, like sometimes what I like to do is picture a moving game. It turned out to be Austria. And like I just try to imagine like if I was moving in this location, would I find an Austrian sign or Slovenian sign, which is a kind of a stupid way to think about it, I think, but it sometimes works for me. But yeah, it turned out to be Austria, and we were chilling. Now we're on 54, which I think is close to the leaderboard or already on the leaderboard, maybe. The top three for this category, arbitrary rule, no moving. And then we have this round, which is also tricky. Now we have that pole top, which I think is pretty common in like Spain and France. But I guess I've also seen like similar pole tops in Romania. But anyway, this wasn't Romania. The three things on my mind were Spain, France, and Italy. Italy mainly because of like the road lines, and I wasn't sure if the back of that sign was black, so I was considering Italy as a possibility. But yeah, with that pole top, wasn't really likely. So I was mainly between France and Spain. I was trying to see if the wooden poles had a blue sticker earlier as well, but I couldn't find one. Um, couldn't see the guardrail too well either. So landscape-wise, I would say this looks more Spanish. Um, but it's kind of hard to tell because southern France can have stuff like this, or like similar stuff at least. So um, yeah, at this point I was still not sure. I'm just trying to think again that yeah we have that pole top, so it's probably not Italy. It's Gen 2, so it doesn't really help too much. There I see something that's like maybe yellow. I thought that might be a Spanish road marker, but that probably isn't. But yeah, ultimately I think. Oh yeah, the road lines. I forgot about that. I was looking at the road lines there, and they weren't really French. So I decided to go Spain, and it worked out. But I think the road lines sort of convinced me at the end that it is indeed Spain, not France. But again, not the easiest one for me. Um, this is Latvia with the hooks. I don't know why I spent so much time on it, but yeah, it's typical Latvia round. This one, we have the sort of red soil. Sun is overhead, so it doesn't really help. But yeah, with these sort of hills, red soil, I mean, I was pretty sure it's going to be like Minas or Rio or something. It was Minas. This is another free round, just Kenya. And next round is also a free US round, because I can never really see this be Canada. But it was pretty north, actually. I didn't expect it to be that north. There we have a white plate on the car and a white Google car, so that I think basically automatically puts us in Philippines. Um, I guess Peru or something is another option, but like with this landscape, I mean, I was pretty convinced it's Philippines. And it was, but very far off. So at this point, I'm at 60, and I think this is already the world record. So yeah, now it's just going as far as I can go. Um, this is just Sweden with the road lines, and yeah, just want to double check that I'm not making a stupid guess. It's just Senegal, free round again. This is just Irish road lines. So we're making our way through. This one I feel like I would have spent a lot of time on, so I just decided to insta send Indonesia, because it could have been Malaysia as well, but I didn't want to spend too much time on it. And then this round automatically looks like Bulgaria or Romania to me. Then I saw that pole, I thought it was a square pole, so I thought, oh, okay, maybe that's just a Romanian pole. But Now that I think about it, I don't know if that pole top is like more Bulgarian, but I just clicked Romania because it was a square pole and it was Bulgaria in the end. So ended up with a 64 streak, which I think is a world record. Because if I am here in Plunkett, main records, no move streaks, and solo arbitrary rural world, I see 59, 59, 57. So 64 should put me in first, I think. Um, Unless someone has already submitted a higher streak and it's yet to be approved or something, which is possible. Yeah, it doesn't really matter to me that much, as long as um, it was a good streak. That's what I'm happy with that. That's what I wanted to say. It doesn't really matter if I'm on the leaderboard or not, but yeah, I'm happy with the nice streak. So yeah, maybe I'll try some streaks again at some point. You can let me know if you enjoy watching streaks videos. If so, then maybe I'll try to make more videos on that in the future. I guess this also kind of counts as World Cup practice, but I'm not going to put it in the road to World Cup, I don't think. But yeah, anyway, was a fun little streak. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a nice day.